everyone, I have a major announcement. I was able to stop my hair from falling out. Not only that, it's growing back in. And I want to tell you everything that I did to make this happen in case it helps somebody else out there. So if you're like me and you have autoimmune conditions, your hair is probably falling out. And whenever you ask the doctors about it, they tell you it's just part of the condition. My hair has fallen out for the last 2 years, and it was becoming so thin that I was pretty sure I was headed straight to wearing a wig. Like, it was extremely thin. In fact, I started wanting to avoid washing my hair and brushing my hair, because every time I took a shower or brushed my hair, I was reminded at how fast of a pace it was falling out. And it gave me so much anxiety to watch clumps of my hair falling out. For an entire year, I set out on a mission to stop my hair from falling out. And this is everything that I did. All right, my story starts with ferritin levels. Pause the video, go get your ferritin lab test results, and look to see where your ferritin levels are at. Ferritin levels are our iron stores, how much iron we have stored. All right, when my hair was falling out, my ferritin levels were at 22 nanograms per milliliter. Now, at 22 grams per milliliter, the doctors are not too worried about your iron store levels, because you're not technically deficient. However, we're also not at optimal levels. I actually addressed this issue because one of my doctors pointed out that my iron levels were getting lower and lower, but at that time, I still had not connected it to my hair falling out. So fast forward, I was actually able to chat with a hair specialist that works with people to stop their hair from falling out. And they said the first thing they do every single time is check iron, specifically ferritin levels. And if they're not optimal, they get them to supplement with iron. Optimal levels for hair loss and hair regrowth is anywhere from 50 to 80 nanograms per milliliter. If you don't have optimal ferritin levels, the odds are you could have excessive hair shedding or hair falling out. At the time, my doctor suggested prenatal vitamins to try to fortify my ferritin levels to get them into more of an optimal range. Now, remember, I'm not in a deficient range, so most doctors didn't flag this, and it was never really brought to my attention, and I didn't really pay attention. But we need to start paying more attention to our labs so that they're more optimal levels and not just looking for deficient levels. My doctor recommended prenatal vitamins, so I found one that has bioavailable B12 methylcobalamin. But that's not all that I changed. I also added L-Lysine. This is just the brand I happened to find at my grocery store. The reason I added L-Lysine is because I found a study about people that had excessive hair shedding, and they gave them iron to see if it would stop. The other half of the group, they gave iron with L-Lysine, and that is the group that actually stopped the excessive hair shedding. To make a long story short, L-Lysine helps us utilize the iron that we're taking. By supplementing with iron alone, it doesn't necessarily help the situation. Now, those are the two supplements that I took that stopped the hair from falling out. And it took me about 2 months before I realized it was working. So what I noticed first is that my hair started to stop slowly shedding as much as it was, and it wasn't falling out in clumps. But then within a few months, I noticed my hair wasn't falling out at all. So now when I lose any hair, it's probably a typical amount that is considered normal and just a few strands at a time. As you can see, my hair looks a little fuzzy. It's because all of the new hair that grows in just sticks straight up, and I don't even care. So a few videos ago, some of you noticed that I cut my hair off really short. And the reason I did that is because I had so much new hair growing in, and it was so many different lengths that I couldn't fix my hair at all. And I figured if I cut my hair off as short as I could stand it, that it might help catch up what's happening and that it would all become like the same length eventually. But as you can see, I'm still dealing with really bad hair because it's just kind of growing in all over the place and it looks crazy, but I don't even care because my hair is growing back and it's no longer falling out. So I showed you the 2 supplements that stopped my hair from falling out. Now I'm going to talk about the 1 supplement that I took that got it all to grow back in. Now this I can't show you because I threw the bottle away, but I'm using a rosemary oil. I took a rosemary oil and I mixed it with some water, put it into a spray bottle, and I spray it onto my scalp every other day. Some people say rosemary oil irritates their scalp. So you want to try an extremely small section before you put it all over your head. Just don't apply it everywhere because if it happens to irritate your scalp, you're going to be in trouble. Now, it didn't irritate my scalp. I did really well with it. It just has a really strong smell. I either spray it onto the scalp or I put it on my fingertips and then massage it all over the scalp. And within about a month, I noticed a ton of regrowth, which just means I had hair growing all back in, sticking straight up all over the place, and it was pretty crazy. Even my hairdresser noticed it and wanted to know what I was doing because the hair growth that's coming in is just so significant that we can't get over it. So I combined those 3 items to get my hair to where it is today. So check your ferritin levels. Apparently it's a pretty important thing. And if we're not in optimal levels, they don't really tell us. And something else that I found out, a lot of us with autoimmune issues do have lower ferritin levels. So most of us may not have optimal ferritin levels. And I know a lot of us deal with our hair falling out. Now, this may not be exactly why your hair is falling out, but I hope it helps some of you. So if you're like me and this helps, let me know, but it is going to take you a few months to find out. And as always, never supplement with an iron supplement. You don't know your iron levels. Get those checked, then decide to supplement with iron if it is needed or you're not at optimal levels or your doctor has suggested that you need to supplement. I didn't realize how important ferritin levels were to actual hair growth or hair falling out. And I didn't really realize how low my levels were and that they just weren't optimal. That's everything I did to stop my hair from falling out and then to get it to grow back in. And now I have different types of hair problems.